really want to go to the college because I didn't like even back then when my mindset was not as strong as it is right now, and my beliefs and my values were not where they are right now. I still didn't like the idea of competing for a degree, and none of the colleges were worth changing my values for. So I was okay changing my values, like provided I get like into a good college, like a good government college. I didn't get into any DU colleges, by the way. So I decided to drop out that year. The education system had failed me yet again. I decided that I'm going to start working on myself. Like, I'm at home, I'm not just going to degrade into a goblin, right? So I decided I'm going to start working on myself. I started to build new habits that would supposedly get me the results that I wanted. I started working out every single day, or almost every single day. My consistency wasn't at its peak back then. I was eating right most of the times. I was eating at home. I was reading educational self help books every single day. I was watching YouTubers and I was following their advice. I was learning so much. I was so sure that if I kept to this path, I will have a transformation. 6 months passed by. Nothing. A year passes by and still nothing. Like, there was no tangible change in me. Like, if you met me in 2022 versus 2023, you wouldn't be able to feel the difference in me. Like, there was no difference. This is when I started to doubt myself. This is when I started to question, what am I doing? Am I on the right path? Like, what is my goal? Just get better. Like, that is so generalized. This is when I started to question myself, like, do I actually have a goal? Like, does getting better, becoming better version of yourself, does that count as a goal? Do I know the path that I'm working on will lead me to the success that I'm looking for? I kept on grinding and grinding, and nothing happened for a year straight. A year of working out, eating right, learning about things, learning about how to build habits, how to build consistency, how to build discipline, reading books, learning about entrepreneurship. Little did I know, I was building the foundation of the man that I'm supposed to become, which I still am doing, by the way. But at the time, it felt useless. It felt like I'm wasting my time right now. I started to question myself, did I really make a right decision not going to college? Would my life have been better off had I gone to college? Any college? My friends started calling me and I started to talk to them. And they were asking me which college did I get into. Oh, I dropped out. Like, oh, I'm so proud of you. You took such a risk. It felt so nice hearing them. Oh, I'm so proud of you. You took such a risk. But deep inside, like deep down, I knew I was just faking it. Like, I didn't really take a risk. I wasn't really being brave. Just that college was like not an option for me. I did not want to study. I did not want a job. That was not the life that I wanted at all. I would rather quite literally die than have that life. So for me, that was never really an option. So I didn't really drop out because I was brave. I dropped out because that was the only real actual path. That was the only option that I had. Self doubt was at its absolute peaks right now. But I kept grinding anyway because I had heard somewhere this quote that if you keep playing, you can never lose. So I decided that I'm not going to quit. I decided that irrespective of whether or not I'm getting results or not, whether or not I'm getting the desired results or not, I'll keep grinding. I'll keep doing the things that I was promised will get me results. I decided to trust the brain of men that were better than me instead of my own. So despite my own, in retrospect, not so good advice, I kept working and I kept grinding. A few months passed by and I started to see some tangible, actual results. My body began to change. My mindset became a little stronger. Suddenly, my habit tracker was a lot more tick marks than crosses. A habit tracker, basically, if you're unknown, a habit tracker is a tool that you use to keep a track of your habits and to improve your consistency. Basically, it's a piece of paper that you stick somewhere in your room where you can see it at all times. And on the top side, you write down all the habits that you're trying to work towards building or making them stronger. And on the left hand side or the margin side, you write down all the dates. And whenever on a particular date you do a particular activity or a habit, you put a tick mark, and on days you don't, you put a cross. And it will improve your consistency. Just tracking how consistent you actually already are will improve your consistency by a lot. So I slowly began to see a lot more tick marks than crosses on the habit tracker. I started to see that when I'm talking to people, I appear smarter. I'm making more compelling and more intelligent arguments. I suddenly began to feel stronger in the gym, more consistent with my habits. Reading was not an effort anymore. Going to the gym was not an effort anymore. These were just things that I already do. Suddenly, I was not faking being a high value man. Suddenly, I was on my way to becoming one. Fast forward to right now. I have a top 10% physique, which is only improving every single day. I have strong, unbreakable discipline and habits and consistency. I read every single day without any effort. I go to the gym every single day without any effort. I don't cheat on my diet very often. I'm doing every single thing right, and I know why I'm doing it anyway. And I know why I'm doing each and everything. It's because it's going to take me closer to my dream outcome, to becoming the man that I want to become, that I think deserves the success, and I think deserves the woman, and I think deserves the respect of the community. I think I'm well on my way to becoming that man, or at least I'm way closer to him right now than I was 2 years ago. Here is my 4 step framework that I use to determine whether or not I'm on the right path to success, that I'm on the right path to achieving my goals or not. Or do I need to reevaluate my strategies, my habits, my actionable steps? So keep on. Step number 1 of my know whether or not you're on the right path framework is think in terms of hundreds. And you're probably doing this, so I need you to really pay attention right now. Most people, most goblinish people, most degenerate people will never take action at all. They will never start a habit. They will never attempt to build habit. They will never attempt to build discipline. Most people will never even try. But the very few people who do, most likely you take some action, right? That's why you're watching the self-improvement video. You take some action, but you get disheartened when you don't get the results, don't get the desired results within the first 30 days. And you quit and you stop and you give up. Big things, good things, great results take time. Whether you want to change your body, whether you want to transform your body, your mind, your mindset, whether you want to develop some traits like discipline, like hard work, like being patient, all of these things take a long time. Whatever it is that you're working towards, I need you to, from today onwards, start thinking in terms of hundreds. And here's exactly what I mean. So think think 100 workouts. 100 workouts of doing the same thing that you planned in the first place before you change even a single thing. 100 sample papers for preparing for your exam. 100 sales calls. 100 YouTube videos. 100 YouTube videos edited. 100 thumbnails. Once you have done something long enough for a longer timeline, for a long period of time, you can then start to even fathom maybe there's something that I'm doing that is not getting me the results. Because nothing happens in 30 days. You don't build a habit in 30 days. You don't build a trait in 30 days. You don't build a business in 30 days. You don't build a YouTube channel in 30 days. You don't build a habit in 30 days. Nothing, mark my words, happens in 30 days. 100 days should be your sample size. Like that is your first phase of hard work. That's where you begin. That's where you're like, okay, all of this happened within 30 days. My YouTube channel grew from 0 to 300 subscribers within 100 days. Now what do I do? What are some things that I did that worked really well? What are the things that I did that didn't work well at all? Then you can start to analyze your progress, and then you can evaluate the next 100 days plan. Only do the things that worked really well, don't do the things that didn't work. Still try to do things that moderately worked. This is what high value smart men do. This is called evaluation, where you have data in front of you and you're making your next decision based off of that data, not emotions, not frustration, not anger, not sadness, all of these pussy emotions. These will not get you results, bro. Think in terms of hundreds. Obviously, I want to solidify this thought even more, so I will give you a personal example. In 2022, I had really bad skin. So you'll see that all of my transformative things began at 2022. So in 2022, I had really bad skin. So I decided I don't want to be this person anymore. I didn't want to be labeled as a guy who doesn't have good skin and the guy who's just ugly in general. So I wanted to change that. I did a lot of things to help me go from ugly to not so ugly. But the one major thing that I did was I worked on my skin. So I developed a skincare routine, and I decided that against my own wishes, I decided that I'm not going to stick to it for just 30 days. I'll go for a bigger time frame, 100 days. I did things from as simple as fixing my diet to as complicated as taking a vitamin C serum. Started to take vitamins, started to formulate a skincare routine, also making convenient so I actually do it. I didn't want to have like a 7-8 step skincare routine. The most I can do is like 2 to 3 steps. So I created a skincare routine for myself. I started to create a plan for myself that I'm going to follow for the next 100 days and then see if there's any good changes in my skin. And lo and behold, my skin changed, completely transformed. I didn't even think this was possible. But I cleared out all my acne. I cleared out the tone of my skin. I made it more even toned. I didn't have any dark spots on my skin. I didn't have any blackheads. I cleared out my skin completely. I made it healthier. And all of that was possible because in the 100-day time frame, I discovered the things that give me acne. I discovered the things that I should be doing to avoid having acne. And I discovered what I need to do when I have acne. Like I still get some pimples, right? And these are very unfortunate. They happen when I fuck up my diet, when I stop taking my multivitamin or some things like that. So I know exactly what causes me to break out. This happened because I spent time working on myself for a 100-day period. So, and you don't necessarily need to do like 100 days period. As I said, like 100 YouTube videos, 100 workouts, 100 sales calls, all of that is good. Just aim for higher volume. Think in terms of hundreds. That will save you a lot of mistakes. That will make you the most progress of your life. The second step of my 4-step framework is think with your brain, not your heart. So most of your decisions are based off of emotions, which would not be a problem were you a woman, but you're not. Most likely, if you're watching my channel and you have been for a while, you are a man. And if you are a man, if you're a masculine man and you want to become better, high value, you need to stop basing your decisions off of your emotions. Every single decision that you make should be based off of actual data that you have, should be based off of logic. Which action that I take will be the most beneficial for me, not the most comfortable, will be the most beneficial for me. That is how you should be thinking. I'll give you an example. If, for example, you think that you want to change your workout split, Maybe you want to add a few more rest days. Think to yourself why you're thinking this. For example, you may think that you wanna add a few more rest days because then you'll be able to be more consistent, because you're not as consistent and you're missing like 2 to 3 days of the gym every week anyway. So you may as well optimize the rest of the week to building as much muscle as possible. If this is like an example of what you're doing, if you're thinking, oh, I'm not able to be consistent in the gym anyway, I'm taking 2 to 4 rest days anyway, may as well make them like solid rest days, and might as well like increase the volume I'm doing on the actual working days. So I'm building the most amount of muscle and also resting in between. If this is something that you're doing, or this reminds you of something that you're doing, then this is what's called rationalization. You don't actually believe that adding those rest days will make you more consistent or help you build more consistency. Adding those rest days will simply give you more validation from yourself. Though adding those rest days will simply make you not feel as guilty, because those were rest days anyway. So your goal with doing this is not to actually start building more muscle, is not to actually be more consistent in the gym, is to just increase your own status in your own eyes. So you're not really doing this based off of logic, you're doing this based off of emotions. And most of your decisions, if you really analyze them, are just like that. They're just rationalizations. You you watch my videos, right? You watch my videos and you relate to me. You understand the things that I'm talking about. You relate with the examples that I give you. And you're watching this video right now. Not because you are going to take action. You know you're not going to take action, right? Prove me wrong by all means. Take action. I'm going to give you actionable steps and take action. Prove me wrong. I want that. But most likely you're not. You're just doing this to feel productive. This decision of you clicking on this video was based off of emotions, because you don't want to feel like you're wasting your time. This is what's called mental masturbation, where you're pretending and telling yourself that, oh no, this is productive time, right? This is going to help me. This is going to help me. This is going to help me push me in the right decision, right? This is a self-improvement video. Red pill content, right? It's gonna help me. Fuck no. You're doing this to make you feel good. You're doing this to give yourself validation. So prove me wrong, take action. Instead, you should be thinking about the actual problem. Try to analyze the situation that you're in. Firstly, think what it is that you think the problem is, which is most likely not the actual problem. The problem that you think you have may be that you're not consistent enough in the gym, and as a result of that, your solution is that you're going to solidify those days that you miss at the gym as rest days. So now you have an excuse to miss the gym, because these are like rest days. That's when the muscle grows, right? Instead of doing that, try to analyze the problem more. So when you do that, when you dig deeper, because most people are smart enough, you just don't do the thinking. You have to think in order to find a solution, right? You don't do the thinking, you're never gonna find a solution. So actually think about this, think about the problem, and you'll realize that the actual problem is not that you need more rest days because you're missing days at the gym. Your actual problem is that you're not disciplined enough. And so you commit to yourself. You make a commitment that for the next 100 days you're going to go to the gym every single day. You're going to optimize your life so that you don't miss a day at the gym. And on the days you don't do, on the days you have to, you see what the problem is. And you commit to doing that for 100 days. By the end of the 100 days, you're going to have a list of things that make you miss the gym. So maybe on the days you sleep at the during afternoons, you're more lazier in the evening, and as a result, you don't want to go to the gym and you don't go to the gym. Or maybe on the days you have guests over, you feel obligated to spend time with them, and as a result, you don't go to the gym again. Just like this, you're going to have a list of problems, and then you're just simply going to eliminate all these problems. You're going to make sure that you don't sleep during afternoons. You're going to make sure that you don't eat a lot of food before your ab workouts or your ab days, so you don't feel sick when you're working out. And as a result, you don't dread the next workout. You make sure you're optimizing your life so that you don't miss a single day at the gym. You're consistent now. That's all it takes. Identifying the problems and then eliminating those problems or creating solutions for those problems at least. You can do this on your own. You don't need me for this. You don't need anybody for this. You just needed me to tell you this on your face. Sometimes, bro, the problem is not a problem at all. Sometimes the problem is just that you're being pussy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna tell you things that you want to hear. That's what all other YouTubers do. I'm gonna tell you things that you need to hear, that you need to get results. Because that is what I did to myself. I was brutally honest to me at all times. And that is what helped me get results. That is what gave me consistency, discipline, all these traits that I boast about right now in front of you, that I'm teaching you about. That is what it takes. Someone has to tell you the truth. It's either me or yourself. I know you're not going to do it because you're too much of a pussy right now. Right now. But I can help you get there. Just take my advice. Like your brain, right? Imagine how many workouts your brain has convinced you to miss. How many excuses has your brain given you? One day is not gonna matter. I'm not gonna lose progress anyway, right? Like one day of eating right is not gonna do much. One day of working out really hard is not gonna do much either. I'll just miss a day. Or spending time with the family is also very important, so I'll not go to the gym today. Or it's a festival, I'll celebrate Diwali, I'll celebrate Holi. Tomorrow I'll work twice as hard, right? You'll train chest and back both. All of these excuses are stupid. They're boring. They bore me quite literally. When my brain gives me these excuses, I say fuck off. And I go to the gym. And I train twice as hard as I'm supposed to. That's the mentality that I want to install upon yourself. If you let me. You let me lead you, I'll make you into the psychopath that I am. And and I'll get you there even sooner than I got there. Step number 3 of my how do you know if you're on the right path framework is monitor your progress. Alex Hormozy, a very, very successful entrepreneur, taught me this. So basically, I watched one of his videos in which he said this one quote, and it really resonated with me, and I found it so valuable. He says, if you don't measure, you don't care. It's as simple as that, bro. Because most often, the things that if you do something that is supposed to work, scientifically proven to work, like if you're working out, if you're eating right, if you're doing everything right, then you are bound to make progress, right? If you are uploading videos consistently, good high quality videos consistently on YouTube, you will grow your YouTube channel. Like it's simple science. There's nothing like, unless like there's something that you're doing extremely wrong, you're going to make some progress. But most often times when you just started off, the progress is so small and so insignificant that we just ignore it. That our naked eyes of scrutinizing judgment just can't fathom that change. So instead we rely on technology. This is why we take progress pictures. This is why I recommend you take progress pictures every single day. This is why I still take progress pictures every day that I work out, basically. This is because your own eyes get used to the change and you're not able to see the progress that you're making. Your brain gets used to the progress that you're making. I used to be happy, extremely happy getting 50 views. Now I'm like sat here sad. Why am I not able to break the plateau of 300 views? Like I made progress going from 50 views to 300 views. That's a lot. but your brain is not able to capture that. Your brain is not able to give you the happiness you're supposed to get from that unless you track it, unless you monitor that progress. Track how many views your average video is getting every 12 hours or 24 hours. Track how much weight you're losing every single day. Track how many pages you read per day. Track how many minutes you're able to focus on your work per day. Track everything in like autistic great detail, because that's the only way you're going to be able to see the progress that you're making, because you can keep making progress and not be able to see it for a very long time. Like, I see my physique right now and I see the picture that I had of my physique 2 years ago, and I'm shocked that I still look in the mirror and I feel like I'm not like there yet. I still feel like I'm fat. I still feel like I'm not able to, like, there's still like some parts of my physique that I feel like are not like ideal right now. I still can't see all my abs right now. I still feel like I have a little bit of fat, but I made so much progress, bro. And all of that would have been ignored if I had not taken a single picture, bro. So it's extremely important that you track your progress, because most often, and this is probably, if you're doing something and you feel like you're not making progress, this is probably a mistake that you're making right now. Most cases, you're doing the right things, but you're not doing them long enough, and you're not tracking whether or not you're doing, and you're not tracking how much progress you're making. If it was not like if it was not given as a YouTube data in my analytics, I would be sad that I'm only getting 300, 350, 500 views. Because last month I was getting like 1,000, 2,000, 2,500 views. But seeing my first ever video, seeing my first few videos, I was getting 30, 12, 14, 50 views. I'm so ahead right now. I'm so grateful for my progress. So, clicking progress pictures, tracking your progress is extremely, extremely powerful, because it like really humbles you. Because your ego gets in the way. You're like, I'm supposed to make more progress in this. Why am I not making more progress in this? The thing is, compounding does not work that way. You see, when you're doing a lot of things, your progress compounds, and that means you have to spend a lot of time not seeing results, and then suddenly it shoots up. Your progress just shoots up. That's how compounding works. I didn't see a lot of changes in my physique for a very long time until it just clicked to me, like, this is what I'm not doing right. And then suddenly my results compounded just from changing one very miniature thing. I was not I was not making any tangible results. I was not seeing any results in my just overall value as a man. I didn't see how I improved. I didn't see how I became better until I started making YouTube videos for this channel. And then I saw the value that I had to give to this whole. And then I saw the comments that people are leaving that actually like me as a person, that actually like the value that I'm providing. That's when I realized, like, fuck, bro, I am making progress. I am getting better. I am better. But it happens so quickly and so later on down the line. It's just the journey to that path is extremely painful, bro. And you just have to endure it. Most people see your journey from here to here is going to be extremely painful, and most people will give up, like, at many stages. Some people will give up here. Most people will not come here, and this is where the compounding happens. Your progress in any genre of your life that you're actually working hard towards will always look like this. Almost never will your progress be very steady like this. It will almost always be like this. And whenever your progress is like this, always there's going to be a painful path or a painful journey of working but seeing no results. This is where the phrase trust the progress comes in. You just have to believe the minds of the people that are better than you. You just have to believe my advice. You just have to believe what I'm telling you. This is what is going to happen, bro. Take progress pictures, and after 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 24 months, you're going to be unrecognizable. But you have to be able to work until that point. And that takes a lot of effort, bro. I probably have done 5,000 workouts up to this point in my life. And I still at most have like top 10% physique, which is still not very good. Still not very impressive. Still don't have six pack abs. I promise, I guarantee you, I worked twice as hard. I'm twice as consistent as you. I'm at least 10 times as many workouts down the line as you have. So it takes time. Great things take time, take effort, and the progress that you're making is still progress, but it's just so small compared to the progress that you're going to make down the line. You just have to track it. You just have to trust the data and not your own emotions in your mind. Do this, and I guarantee you, you'll have so much less difficulty following the processes, trusting the process, and just doing the action, doing the task that it takes, enduring the process. The fourth and final step of my four-step framework is editing an omission. This is like a great rule of thumb that you can live by. There are some things that are giving you 80% of your results that only take 50% of your efforts. Let me be very clear with this again. Let me repeat what I just said. 50% of the things that you're doing are getting you 80% of the results. That means that 50% of the things that you're doing are getting you only 20% of the results. That means there's a lot of junk volume in what you're doing. Junk volume is basically like a training term, like a gym bro kind of a term. What it means is that there's only a certain level of sets that you can do per workout or per week that will give you like the optimal results, and anything more than that will only give you diminishing results. Anything more than that is suboptimal, meaning, say you're doing 10 sets per week. I'm just giving you an example. Don't take this like as fitness advice. This is just example. Say you're doing 10 sets per week. That is going to be optimal for you. This is what's going to build you the most amount of muscle, right? Doing 12 sets per week is not going to give you more. It's going to tire you, so the next week you're not able to perform as well in those particular sets, right? So if you decide to do more, that is actually giving you diminishing results. That's actually hindering your progress, right? So your best bet is to either do less, that means doing 9 sets per week, or doing 10 sets per week. That means that there are some things in your routine, there are some things in your plan that are actually giving you diminishing results, that is suboptimal, right? There were some things in my skincare routine that were not giving me results. Or let's take like a real example, okay? I a few years ago, so in 2022, as I said, bro, like everything goes back to 2022. In 2022, I was thinning. My hair was like really bad quality. Like right now, you can see my hair is very dense and they're shiny and they're healthy. I haven't put anything. That's just blow dried normal hair. And in 2022, I was thinning. Like I was really like worried about going bald. My hair was that bad. Like the quality, the density, the volume, the actual quantity of hair that I had on top of my head I was ashamed of that. So I decided I'm gonna work towards that as well. So I started doing a couple of things, taking multivitamin and putting minoxidil, finasteride. There's a lot of things, right? I'm not giving advice right now. Don't like start doing anything right now. But I started doing a lot of things, and among that was microneedling. Microneedling is basically when you basically needle your scalp, and that's supposed to like damage your scalp and then increase blood flow, and as a result you'd like grow stronger, thicker and more hair. And that is what's supposed to happen. But that is not something that happened for me, because now I wasn't able to be consistent with it. I had to do it once a week, and every other week I forgot doing it. So it was not really giving me the results that I wanted. And so I stopped doing it. I cut it out completely. That was my 50% effort and 20% results task. I cut it out, and suddenly like I started to see more results because my routine became more simpler. Now I only had to do like one or two things that I had to do every single day that would give me like better quality hair, and I had to do them every single day. So my routine or my habits or tasks that I had to do in order to maintain the hair I have or improve the quality of my hair became easier. Whatever you start doing, whatever habits you start building, you want to be able to do them for the rest of your life, right? If you're following a weight loss diet, You want to be able to do that for the rest of your life. You don't just want to cut the weight, look good for a couple of weeks, and then gain all that weight back, right? You don't just want to build a couple of kilograms of muscle by taking steroids and then stop taking steroids and lose all that muscle, right? That's not practical. That's not ideal. That's not what high value men do. We actually want to have that thing that we achieved for the rest of our lives, right? I want to have this YouTube channel for the rest of my life. I want to be able to show these videos to my kids. I want to be able to watch these videos with my family. And that's why I'm working so hard towards this. So I want to have these things that I'm working so hard for the rest of my life. I want to be able to sustain this for the rest of my life, right? So I have to make it simple, easy to follow. If it's not simple and easy to follow, I will not do it. I have to make it practical for me to follow it every single day, right? And if that requires me to cut out some things that are not practical for me, then so be it. I'm okay sacrificing 20% of the results if it makes me following my routine 50% easier. Like, that's a very good trade. Doesn't that make sense to you? So figure out for yourself. This is an actionable step. If you are working towards something, if there's some routine that you're following, if there's some actions that you're taking on a daily basis, figure out what it is that is taking 50% of your efforts and only giving like 20% of the results. Figure out that extra thing that you're doing that is just wasted effort, junk volume. Figure it out for yourself and cut it out. That is the omission part. Omission is cutting out. Now comes editing. There must be some things that you're doing wrong. Like when I was working out 1 year ago, I was doing everything right. For some reason, I was still not building muscle. Like I was going to the gym every single day. I was eating a lot of protein. I was eating more protein than I'm eating right now. And I was eating just enough calories that I will still stay lean and be able to build muscle again. But I was for some reason not losing any fat, not gaining any muscle. And my physique wasn't changing at all whatsoever. I was not even getting stronger in the gym. So I thought that my exercise choice was wrong. I thought maybe I'm not able to recover as well. So I decided to include more rest days, just like I told you in the example below. So every single time that I'm like criticizing you, I'm swearing at you, I'm actually swearing at myself, bro. These are the mistakes that I made for myself. I'm the most dumbest guy in this world. Like if you feel bad watching these videos, just know that I am feeling worse talking about these because these are my shortcomings. These are all the stupid decisions that I've made. These are all the stupid mistakes that I've made. I'm swearing at myself right now. I'm looking at myself. I'm telling myself that I'm a fucking idiot. I was an idiot at least. So don't make the mistakes I made. I thought that I was not recovering well. All I needed to do was change the way I worked out. My workouts were more endurance focused. I was doing a lot of reps. I was doing a lot of junk volume. I was doing a lot of different exercises for just a single muscle group. All I had to do was focus on hypertrophying that particular muscle. Hypertrophy basically means that damaging a particular muscle group so that it recovers and becomes stronger and better. That's how we build muscle, right? Hypertrophy means that, and I had to focus on hypertrophy and strength training only. So I had to lift heavier and I had to lift them with greater effort. I had to lift them with a better form. So eventually I figured this out and I changed my routine a bit. So I included compound exercises, heavier lifts, and I included hypertrophy exercises. So I included exercises that were still difficult for me to do, but I was not able to do a lot of reps with, and I was still able to control the weight and stretch in the bottom. Like these micro little tiny changes that I made that exponentially changed my results that I was getting. I'm still following the same workout routine. I'm still working out every single day. I'm eating less protein than I used to. And I'm stronger than I was 1 year ago. 1 year ago, when I was doing 1,000 push-ups a day, now I'm bench pressing on a decline angle for 10 reps. So I'm way stronger now. I'm building a lot more muscle. So oftentimes, you may be doing the right things, but you may just need to change the way you're doing them. That is the last part of this video. These are all the mistakes in my opinion that you're making right now. These are all the things that you need to understand, that you need to identify in your own routine, in your own plan, in order to understand whether or not you're in the right path. And if for any reason, for some reason, you're in the very beginner stages of your self improvement journey, where you've just discovered self improvement, where you just maybe gotten out of a breakup, maybe you've just been rejected by a girl, maybe you've just discovered that you're not high value enough, that you're not skilled enough, maybe you're not as, maybe you've just met someone that is like, that you respect a lot. Maybe you've seen me and you like the way I talk. Maybe you like the how skilled I am. Maybe you like the way I can look at the camera and talk. Like I have a lot of years of experience with me. If you're someone like that in very initial stages and you don't know your routine at all, you don't know what path to take, I recommend you subscribe to this channel. By the way, if you're interested and in case you can afford, I also offer coaching services. So I will coach you and walk you through each and every step so you don't have to worry about all these steps. I will make sure you're on the right path and I will make sure you don't miss the mistakes I made. I will make sure that you achieved my self improvement progress in less or the same time and don't take more. If that is something that you want, click on the top link below and I will guide you and I will coach you myself. Make sure that you get the results that you want. I'm building a community of high value men or men who want to become high value. If you think you're one of them, subscribe to my channel so my videos can find you more easily and I can help you in your own self improvement journey by videos just like this every Monday and Thursday. And I'll see you in the next video.